Kobe Bryant and his Los Angeles Lakers facing the Utah Jazz. The Lakers taking the first 2 games in LA. The Jazz trying to get back into the series, back on their home court. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert along with Reggie Miller. We'll be joined in a moment by Craig Sager. This crowd is up. They're ready. Both clubs on the floor, ready to go. Let's check out the McDonald's starting lineups for the Lakers. Well, they stay the same. And Kobe Bryant has had a number of prolific games here in Salt Lake City. For the Jazz, one lineup change. Andre Kirilenko will start at the small forward spot instead of Kyle Korver. However, Mehmet Okur will sit out once again due to that sprained right hamstring. The officials, Bennett Salvatore, Mike Callahan, and Eric Lewis. Game 2 Tuesday night in LA. Lakers beat the Jazz 119-109. The Lakers making it 11 straight wins against Utah in Los Angeles. That includes 3 second-round games last postseason when the Lakers beat the Jazz in 6. Utah did get back into the game. They were within 3 in the final minutes. But the Lakers able to hold on as Kirilenko throws it away on the first possession.
Well, we knew turnovers were a big factor, especially in that Game 2 loss down the stretch for Jerry Sloan and his Utah Jazz. And right there, Kirilenko a little bit over anxious trying to get the ball to Ronnie Brewer.
Nice handoff, but Ariza not able to score. Rebound Boozer. And the whistle away from the ball. A loose ball foul is called. It is on the Lakers. It's on Bynum. The Jazz very successful here at home. 33-8 in the regular season, including a win over the Lakers in mid-February, while the Lakers have the best road record in the NBA, 29-12. However, they have lost 7 of the last 10 here in Utah. That was chopped away by Bryant, last touch by Boozer.
Well, nice double team down low by Kobe Bryant. This is something he's done in games 1 and 2. Really coming off Ronnie Brewer, daring him to shoot. Goes down and elects to double team Carlos Boozer.
This a very tough crowd for the road teams as Bynum too strong. Rebound Boozer. Phil Jackson calls the crowd intense. Oh, Williams got the step.
And that's something we can see all night for Darren Williams. It's a concern for the Lakers and Phil Jackson is the penetration of Darren Williams.
Bryant lost it, able to regain, took it away from Williams, and then is called for the traveling violation.
Well, I like the enthusiasm, and it looks like the Jazz are a step quicker than they were in games 1 and 2 in Los Angeles.
Yes, it appeared, Reggie, that the Lakers were on every loose ball. And we'll see if things do turn here tonight. Back home. Williams with the jumper. And it's kept alive by Boozer. Utah resets. This is Brewer. Hit his first 3 shots the other night. Kobe Bryant continues to give him that shot. Just steps away, not respecting that outside touch of Brewer. Darren Williams lost the handle.
And that's 2 turnovers early in this first quarter for the Utah Jazz.
You know, you look at the configuration of this building, has the fans right on top of the court, more of a college field. But Kobe Bryant says, you know, the booing, the heckling relaxes him. He feels he plays better under these circumstances. Did put up 34 points in eliminating Utah in Game 6 last year, and Derek Fisher continues to hear it from the crowd. A turnover by the Lakers. Williams played by Fisher. Now Bryant is up on Brewer, then stepped away. This time Brewer not able to hit, rebounded by Gasol.
And Kobe Bryant's philosophy is, look, if Ronnie Brewer is going to take shots, that's going to take offense away from Darren Williams and Carlos Boozer. So that's why he's daring him to take those wide open 15 and 17-foot shots.
There's Williams on the run. Hands it off to Kirilenko. Takes to the rim.
Semi-fast break there by the Utah Jazz. Nice dribble handoff by Darren Williams to Kirilenko with the finish.
Trevor Ariza has had 2 outstanding games. Pushing foul is called on Jaron Collins getting involved with Andrew Bynum.
This is one thing that Darren Williams is kind of try and do all night. Dribble penetration, nice rub cut off by Karolinko. Nice little dribble handoff, easy lay-in for the Jazz.
And back in game 2, Lakers put up 41 points in the first quarter. They hit 18 of 21 from the field. Ariza rebounded by Bynum, and he's fouled. Andrew Bynum getting off to the fast start. On Tuesday night, hit his first 5 shots, then missed 6 in a row. He was fouled by Boozer. Bynum sat out practice yesterday. Phil Jackson feels there was some soreness in Bynum's knee, which may be related to the large brace that Andrew has been wearing since coming back some 6 games ago. And for more on Bynum, let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, Marv, Andrew Bynum tried to get a new knee brace, said he didn't like it. They tried to refigure it, but the doctor said, no, this is the one you're going to wear. This is the one you have to wear. So he's complaining also today at the shoot-around where he sat out and did too much of the activity. He says it makes him very sore and makes him tired as the game wears on.
Craig Brewer misfires on that jumper, kept alive by Collins. We're just underway in Salt Lake City, game 3 of this best of 7. Jazz try to get back into the series. Nice feed from Karolinko, and Boozer puts it in.
And I like Karolinko not settling for the outside shot. I understood if he can try to get into the lane, good things are going to happen for the Jazz. Finds a wide open Carlos Boozer.
That's Kobe hearing it from this crowd. Ariza passed on a 3. Fisher from downtown. Derek Fisher hits the 3.
Well, we know he's comfortable in this building hitting big shots when he played for the Utah Jazz.
Derek said he expected to be booed here where he played in the 2006-2007 season, but not necessarily in response to his being freed from his contract and eventually signing with the Lakers in an effort to make medical care for his daughter more accessible. But he says he feels the fans have made the transition. They're booing him now because he's a Laker. Gasol comes up short, so Derek trying to differentiate the reasons for the booing. Nice play. And Collins will head to the line. Beautiful shovel pass. So 2 shots coming up for Collins as Bynum picks up his second.
Well, something that's different from games 1 and 2 is the fast break of the Utah Jazz. I guess the friendly confines of home court is allowing this team to get out, being able to run the lanes, and have some fast break opportunities.
Aaron Collins during the regular season only 8 of 11. At the line, Bynum will sit down after picking up his second foul, and Lamar Odom, who has been terrific over the first 2 games of this series, 8 of 9, 19 points the other night in LA, will come on for Bynum.
Well, you bring in Lamar Odom, who runs 6'10", 6'11", but is so skilled, can take the ball off the basket, and his ball handling, and obviously you're losing Andrew Bynum, 7 feet, 300 pounds.
So now Paul Gasol is at the center position. Nice pick and roll between Bryant and Gasol. The foul will put Gasol at the line, and Collins collects his second. He'll be replaced by Paul Millsap.
So here's another dribble handoff again, though, for the Lakers right here. Just a little give and go from Kobe Bryant to Paul Gasol. And again, Kobe Bryant, for the 3rd straight game, is looking to be more of a distributor, of a facilitator for the rest of his players. And that was close to an air ball there by Paul Gasol.
Most unusual to see that from Gasol, who's an excellent foul shooter. Nice passing again, but Millsap came up short. And here comes Fisher.
You need to make those little bunnies if you're going to be successful against the Lakers.
Pretty exchange. And Odom with the finish from downtown. So the Lakers have taken a 10-7 lead. An 8-1 run here for Los Angeles. Boozer stepping back and hits.
That's huge for his confidence. It's like I said, Carlos Boozer and Darren Williams, both players have to play great for the Jazz to win game 3.
Carlos Boozer played extremely well in game one. Here's Gasol. Rebounded by Boozer. Boozer back from the arthroscopic surgery on his left knee. Sat out 44 games in all. He already has 6 rebounds. Kirilenko penetrates. Remember before game 2, Phil Jackson telling us his greatest concern, particularly talking about Darren Williams, was the penetration abilities of the Utah Jazz.
And not only Darren Williams, but now you got to add Andre Kirilenko to that mix, because that's another player that likes to get into the lane, finish or find players.
Here's Bryant. Rebound Boozer. Darren Williams with a nice move on Kobe. It's an offensive foul.
Oh, Derek Fisher, fantastic at moving his feet, coming up with the offensive foul.
What do you see as the keys for each team here tonight?
The Lakers have to get off to a quick start like they did in Los Angeles. In the first quarters of each game, 71% in game 1, 86% in game 2. Tonight, only 30%. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Gasol, Bynum, Odom having their way with the bigs of Utah. And for the Jazz, Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer have to combine for 55-plus points. Tonight they have 6 points, and you have to bring the energy in Energy Solutions Arena. The Jazz, as you said, have won 7 of the last 10 games versus the Lakers here.
Here is Fisher. The energy in ESA, as they call it.
That's right.
Energy Solutions Arena, Salt Lake City, Utah. Better than 19,000 sellout crowd for this game 3 of the best of 7. Williams for 3. He had 6 threes the other night. Odom tried to save it, stepped out. So the Jazz maintain possession. This is a Utah team that did not finish the season strong. They went 48-34. They dropped to the number 8 seed. They lost 7 of the last 9 if you include the 2 losses. And a foul is called before the ball was inbounded, so 2 shots coming up. 2-shot foul. Utah to the line on the foul by Fisher.
Derek Fisher just being a little bit too aggressive against Darren Williams right here, holding a little bit down low around the waist, and it's automatic 2 free throws because the ball was not inbounded.
Anyway, started to say, including the losses in the playoffs, the first 2 games with Utah losing to the Lakers, they have actually lost 9 of their last 11 games. So not the kind of run you want to see as you are involved in a first-round playoff series.
And 2 bad losses towards the end of that regular season. 1 to Golden State, not in the playoffs, as well as Minnesota here in Energy Solutions Arena. So that was another reason why they slid down to that 8th spot.
Gasol came up short. Utah by 3 as we approach 5 minutes left in this first quarter. Fadeaway by Bruno, rebounded by Gasol, and again, Bryant fading away defensively.
Well, Kobe is helping so much. Brewer is so wide open. I don't know if Jerry Sloan, because he is such a great defender, Ronnie Brewer is, and has done a fantastic job at guarding Kobe Bryant. Do you exchange defense for offense in C.J. Miles or Kyle Korver?
The Brewers, we mentioned, did hit his first 3 in game 2. Here is Bryant for 3. The rebound comes to Boozer. Already 8 rebounds for Carlos Boozer. Boozer, yes. Carlos Boozer in game 1, 11 of 16, 27 points. And off to the good start here tonight. Gasol having his difficulties here at the start.
Not a lot of easy paint points for the Jazz as it was in game 1 and game 2.
Millsap off a beautiful 1-bounce feed by Boozer. Utah up by 7 by virtue of a 10-0 run.
It's going to be interesting when you put on the white jersey, how crisp you run your offense, how some of those driving avenues are there.
Odom came up short. He thought he was fouled. Darren Williams setting it against Bryant. Kirilenko, oh, beautiful pass to Millsap, a look-away handoff. Andre Kirilenko has been a major factor with his playmaking here at the start. Fisher with the hook that backed home.
I don't know if you call it glass on that, but nice move by Derek Fisher. I'm not quite sure that was the kind of offense Phil Jackson was looking for, but it went.
That ended a 12-0 run by the Jazz. Here's Kirilenko for Millsap. Yes. And Utah on fire. 9 for 17, 53% from the field. The Lakers just 4 of 16 shooting, and a foul is called. It is on the Jazz. It's on Millsap.
A little bit of reversal of fortune here for the Jazz. Games 1 and 2. Those quick starts by the Lakers, as well as the Jazz not shooting particularly well. Now the Jazz are starting to find their way offensively in this series.
14 foul on Utah. Good job again by Brewer as Bryant backs his way. Here's Bryant. The tip by Gasol. 21-14 Utah. And they get it down court in a hurry. Boozer is fouled. Boozer going right at Bryant. And he'll head to the line. The Jazz receiving a standing ovation. Kobe Bryant called for the foul with 2:40 left in this first quarter. Utah by 7. Beautiful passing right from the start. Well, Rajon Rondo was carried off the floor at the end of the game, so there was some concern on the part of the Celtics. Rondo 20 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists with Boston walloping Chicago. As you take a look at the Eastern Conference brackets, now 2-1 Celtics in that series. Cleveland with the 2-0 lead. Game 3 Friday night. Atlanta, Miami resumes Saturday. And Orlando and Philadelphia back in action on Friday night in the West. Earlier this evening, Dallas defeating San Antonio 88-67. They go up 2-1. And we will be there for TNT on Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock Eastern time. San Antonio 67 points, set a franchise playoff record low. That last foul was changed. It was not Kobe Bryant, it was on Paul Gasol. So it's a 22-14 lead for the Jazz. Apparently Carlos Boozer warming up on that first free throw attempt. Kyle Korver has come on for the Jazz. Luke Walton is in. Shannon Brown checks in for Phil Jackson. Bryant comes up short. Rebound Brewer. And Kobe has missed his first 4 shot attempts. 8-point lead for Utah. Korver wide open. Rebound Boozer. How about Carlos Boozer here at the start? 10 rebounds, 9 points.
You've got to be aggressive, especially against the length and the size of Paul Gasol. And Boozer doing a good job of getting into the body.
Brown not able to hit on the reverse rebound. Millsap. Paul Millsap has had a career season averaging 13 points, 9 rebounds in about 30 minutes of play. Boozer played by Odom. He's feeling it. Millsap with the hustle took it away from Walton. That's 5 rebounds for Millsap. Williams could not penetrate. Millsap. Rebounded by Gasol.
Oh, it's 2 pretty good looks. One by Boozer and the other by Millsap, though, by the penetration of Darren Williams.
And Walton is fouled. So Utah over the limit. And Luke Walton, who played very well in game number 2, will go to the line.
Well, you talk about game 1 fast starts for the Lakers. In that game 1, 30 points on 71% shooting. And in game 2, 41 points on a blistering 86%. Tonight, they're only 24%. Kobe Bryant 0 for 4 from the field.
And in game 2 this past Tuesday, Lakers were sizzling. In fact, 18 of their 24 possessions in that opening quarter produced points. At one stretch, they hit 12 consecutive shots. Lakers led by as many as 20, but the Jazz kept coming back, and they were within 3 with 3 minutes and 17 seconds to play, and they did get within 6 points on 7 different occasions. And talking with Phil Jackson earlier, Reggie, he said he blamed himself for losing that big lead. He felt that tried to get playing time for too many of his bench guys. He said the substitutions may have hurt, and he might shorten the bench here tonight. He felt he played too many players, particularly in the second quarter.
Well, Shannon Brown has been playing fantastic off the bench, and he was trying to get Jordan Farmer going a little bit, as well as Sasha Vujacic. And he thinks the way Shannon Brown is playing, maybe his minutes will continue to crease as this series goes on.
Brevin Knight has come on for Darren Williams. Knight at the point. Brewer trying to get it down low. Nice move by Bryant. Odom spinning his way. Odom with the rebound. What a play by Lamar Odom.
Oh, he's got that wingspan as well. And he's one of those players, you put it on the floor, he's going to take a quick shot. He's quick like a pogo stick to get back up there and get his own rebound and putback.
Brewer, yes, and Bryant is 10 feet away from Ron Brewer.
Well, he's going to have those shots throughout this series because Kobe Bryant refuses to play him. I don't know if he's playing mind games with Ronnie Brewer a little bit, but until Brewer shows him he can knock down that shot on a consistent basis, he's going to have those kind of looks.
There's Bryant kicking it out. Open shot for Wolf for three. Bryant able to back it up. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Walton with the runner. That's the end of one here in Salt Lake City. And a good start for the Jazz. Utah with a 26-17 lead on the Lakers, who converted only 6 out of 25 for 24%.
It's well documented. Utah plays so much better at home, but why is your team off to such a slow start?
Good make shots.
Think you're getting good ones, though?
All right. You know, we got pretty good shots.
You talked so much in those first two games about the Lakers' length and how it bothered them. Carlos Boozer tonight dominating the boards. Why?
Yo, he's a monster in there. He's a big, strong guy. He's pushing our guys around. He's getting positioned in there for rebounds.
All right, thanks a lot. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Craig, out of the second quarter with the Jazz up 26-17. Utah 11 of 22 from the field. In the first quarter, they out-rebounded the Lakers 21-9. Here is Sasha Vujacic for three. Now, what was Phil Jackson telling us earlier? For some reason, Sasha has big games here in Salt Lake City.
Well, he's really struggled in this series and really all year, but that first shot right there, like it had eyes.
That's the first shot for C.J. Miles, who just came out, along with Kyle Korver, Matt Harper, who saw limited minutes in game two because of a stomach ailment. Walt with the high post, trying to get it inside, and a foul as Harpering is trying to tie up Odom. It's a non-shooting foul.
Well, Jerry Sloan with Boozer, 11 rebounds, 9 points, and Darren Williams, 4 points on the bench. Can this second unit of Brevin Knight and Matt Harpering and Kyle Korver and especially C.J. Miles keep that intensity going for the Jazz?
Walton with the floating pass intended for Bynum, who was run into. So the foul is called, with Harpering picking up a second.
Well, the Jazz, especially with Boozer on the bench, are too small when Phil Jackson brings back Andrew Bynum as well as Lamar Odom on the floor for the Lakers. Very undersized.
Shannon Brown looking to post up on Brevin Knight. Pops it back out. Vujacic. And the long rebound is, Miles thought he had it, but it was taken out of his hands. Vujacic with the steal. Nice move by Bynum, who backs it home.
Especially with Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol on the bench for the Lakers. Look for Phil Jackson to try to spoon feed Andrew Bynum down low.
So the Lakers are within 4 after trailing by as many as 10. Miles lost it. Harpering went flying. Here comes Brown. Goes to the pull-up. Rebound, Vujacic. Keeping that dribble alive. Good pass to Bynum. Spins his way. And it will not count. Offensive foul.
And if that's on Bynum, that is his third, and I'm not quite sure he got all the body to get the offensive foul from Millsap. You see the nice little spin move in the lane, and a little bit of acting from Paul Millsap, but 3 fouls on Andrew Bynum in this first half. Phil Jackson has to go to the bench and comes back with the other 7-footer, 7-1 Pau Gasol.
And Powell off to a slow start, 2 of 7. In the opening quarter, Darren Williams checks back in.
Safe to say that Bynum will probably be done for the rest of this first half. You don't want him picking up a 4th foul.
Andre Kirilenko is back, so instrumental in the good start by Utah.
Already 3 rebounds already, 2 of them offensive off the bench for the Lakers.
As Brown trying to penetrate, and a blocking foul is called. Jazz wanted a charge. Shannon Brown has played so well. It's not bad. Only 1 of playoff coming into the series.
Well, he was somewhat a throw-in in the trade, bringing Adam Morrison from the Bobcats, and it's almost been like a diamond in the rough for Phil Jackson and the Lakers, not really knowing what they got, and his minutes started to increase the last 15 to 20 ball games of the regular season, and started to make his outside shot, and his minutes has gone up.
Carlos Boozer, as you see, checking back in as we take a look at the upcoming national TV schedule. Friday on the ESPN family of networks. A look at the schedule, and then Sunday on ABC, Boston at Chicago. That's game 4, followed by Cleveland at Detroit, meeting in game 4.
Quick rest for Darren Williams.
And away from the ball, the call against the Lakers. Foul on Brown, that is his first, Lakers' first team foul. Millsap puts it in play. 2.5 gone by in the second. Korver with a running shot. Unusual to see Korver with that type of shot. Vujacic. Hit the line by Odom.
Too quick a shot for Vujacic, especially with Powell and Lamar Odom on the floor.
And here is Brown off the screen. Deflected out, last touch by Walt. So Jerry Sloan now has a front line of Kirilenko, Boozer, and Korver with Williams and Millsap. Carlos Boozer, 4 of 5, 9 points, 12 rebounds. In all, 11 coming in the opening quarter to set a new franchise playoff record for rebounds in a quarter. Kirilenko kept alive by Millsap. Boozer. Utah controlling the boards. Millsap hit the back and got it to Williams. Boozer off the fake, lost it, and he's fouled. The foul on Walt. Timeout call.
For Kobe Bryant, he says he likes this atmosphere, says it relaxes him. I'm not one to doubt Kobe's sincerity, but I must point out the facts. Kobe has played 8 career playoff games here in this building. Has only won 1 game.
That's a touching story involving Charles and the fan, isn't it?
You think Charles remembers that fan? Or that's just another number of endless fans Charles has gone through as Lamar Odom through the legs with the finish for the Lakers to pull within 1 of the Jazz.
Utah with only 2 points their last 11 possessions. They have led by as many as 10. Williams, he saw that Brown was coming at him, and he drew the foul.
That's Brown, that's a young player's mistake right there, going against one of the best point guards in the league. Just kind of, you see his arms above his shoulders, you just go right through him. It's an automatic foul for the officials.
Aaron Williams in his 4th season out of Illinois, a first-round draft pick, 3rd overall back in 2005. Game 1, the big number there, 17 assists because he did not shoot well. But game 2, a playoff career high in points and equaled his career high in 3-pointers. Misses on both, but someone stepped in. Look, from the expression on the face of Pau Gasol, I believe it was Pau.
That's very odd for Darren Williams, who's an 80-plus free throw shooter for the Jazz, to miss 2 at home.
And now it's been confirmed. Yes, it was Pau stepping in too soon. Wow, a hat trick, although only 2 will go into the books. Utah by 1. 4 minutes gone by in the second. Kobe Bryant is back. He and Vujacic at the guards. Gasol with Odom, the big man up front. Boozer with the steal. Williams with the lead for Boozer. Yes. I mentioned the 11 rebounds by Boozer in that first quarter to set a new franchise playoff record. Most rebounds in a quarter. Record previously held by Karl Malone and Greg Ostertag. Well, Vujacic hit his first from downtown, but has not hit since. He's missed his last 3 shots. And now timeout is taken by the Jazz. Utah with a 3-point lead of this game 3 of this best of 7 Western Conference opening round playoff series.
All right, here we go. Our ball. You guys forgot about penetration. You forgot about changing sides of the floor. You don't have to do everything off the dribble. You got to use the ball to move the guys, right? So don't forget that.
And Phil Jackson talking about all the little things, which kind of created a nice little mini dynasty for the Lakers in games 1 and 2. And they were feeding the ball down low to their big front court, and Pau Gasol, Andrew Bynum, and Lamar Odom. He wants them to get back to Laker basketball of moving the ball from side to side.
The reason that Jerry Sloan called that timeout, Reggie, apparently Darren Williams hurt his left knee in a collision with Derek Fisher. So the timeout was taken. Boozer's off. Run down by Fisher with Williams back. Fisher goes right at him, and Karolinko with the blind side block. That's his game. Here's Williams to the crossover, but he was forced too deep and has to reset. Now played by Bryant on the switch. And fouled by Kobe.
And Jerry Sloan inserting Karolinko into the starting lineup, and you see him kind of gathering his steps, trying to time when Fisher was going to go up for that left-hand lay-in. Another player, energy in the starting lineup to kind of fuel this crowd, get him into it early. So far, successful.
Brewer came up short. Another rebound for Boozer.
He's 14th in this first half.
Nice pass. Boozer getting it down low to Brewer. We are seeing every phase of Carlos Boozer's game. The Jazz now up by 5 as we come up on the halfway point of this second quarter. Bryant not able to find the ring. Utah continues to control the glass. Exchange between Brewer and Millsap, but it's a 3-second violation.
Well, I felt when Boozer initially got the ball down low, if he wouldn't have dribbled and just let the cutters gone by, he would have had a one-on-one situation with Pau Gasol.
This a Laker team that won 65 games in the regular season. Best record in the West, 65 and 17. Second best record in the NBA behind the Cavaliers, who went 66 and 16. And the Lakers finished the season winning 6 of the last 7, 11 of the last 14. So they finished on a high. Ariza trying to get inside, and Williams with the breakaway. talking to Jerry Sloan earlier. Said one of the reasons that he wanted Karolinko in that starting lineup was for his defense against Trevor Ariza, who has really hurt the Jazz over the first 2 games.
Well, Ariza being a big factor in games 1 and 2 with his energy. You would think he's more out there for defense, but it's been his offense that has carried the Lakers.
Good job there by Brewer, but a foul was called. And later on, probably you'll see Karolinko go up against Kobe Bryant.
Oh, look at him move his feet right there. And as soon as Ariza thinks he's wide open to the layup, he gets a hand on it, which leads to a wide open dunk for Darren Williams.
Kobe looking for his first points of the game. A programming reminder, don't miss the premiere of executive producer Jerry Bruckheimer's new series, Dark Blue. That's this July, only on TNT.
Kobe Bryant, 0 for 5 in 15 minutes from the field, only 2 assists, averaging 25 and 8 in this series. So guys aren't making shots on his team, and he's not producing offensively as well.
Kobe has had 2 solid all-around games, and games 1 and 2. Williams open for 3. Rebounded by Odom. Lakers down by 5. Just under 5 left. First half. Here's Bryant, got the step and scores on the reverse.
He said that whole first quarter he was looking to set everyone up, and even though that's his first field goal in this game, it's like Kobe's looking to be a little bit more aggressive offensively now, Mark.
Karolinko digging on Ariza, who knocked it away. Odom with the save, but it carried out of bounds, so the Jazz maintain possession.
Well, look at the quick move he gets from up top. He's not waiting for the double team to come. He can stare down the defense right there, just takes Brewer off the dribble for the finish.
Utah with Boozer, Millsap, Karolinko on the front line, and Williams and Brewer in the backcourt. They're resetting the shot clock. Phil Jackson took a long walk, had something to say to the lead official, Bennett Salvatore. And here is Brewer. A nice move, not able to finish. Bryant directing traffic. There's Bryant. And it's put home on the follow by Odom. 9 points for Odom, 6-0 for the Lakers. They are within a point once again.
Well, it's almost like an assist for Kobe Bryant when he drives like that, because you have 3 Jazz players that come over.
Not a good shot by Boozer.
Lakers looking for the lead here.
Ariza. Back comes Williams. He has Brewer taking to the rim, and he's fouled. He was hacked by Odom. We've been talking about the success here at home by the Jazz at 33-8 in the regular season, one of the best home records in the NBA. You talk to visiting players throughout the league, they say how tough it is to play here. Now, I would think someone like yourself, Rose, would thrive on what is going on. You're very similar to the mentality of Kobe Bryant.
Well, I never had great success here. You got to understand, we were going against the great teams of Karl Malone and John Stockton, and I might have won once here during their heyday, maybe twice. You know, we only played twice. You know, once here and once in Indiana. But I had a little bit more success once they retired, because I was a little bit younger, and I had my younger team of Jermaine O'Neal and Ron Artest, and I think we won a couple times before I retired. But this crowd is fantastic. They're expert hecklers, as I will say, and kind of creative at times.
I was going to ask you, was it clever heckling?
Some was clever, some can be downright a little nasty, but you know, it's all fair, it's all good.
There's Gasol getting position. The Jazz with a 34-33 lead. Kyle Korver hit a couple of big threes down the stretch to help the Jazz get back into it in the fourth quarter on Tuesday night. Kirilenko, nicely passed from Brewer.
I think Phil Jackson has seen enough of Carlos Boozer going one-on-one down low. Ariza electing to get the ball out of his hands, and when he goes down to the double, someone's going to have to pick up Andre Kirilenko, who's cutting right off his back.
Bryant. Good box out by Boozer and foul from behind by Gasol. 15 rebounds for Boozer. He now has a new franchise playoff record for rebounds in a half. Let's take a look right here at Reggie's mailbag presented by Blackstone.
I'm really excited about these. Adam F. wants to know who should be in Utah's lineup next year. General Manager Kevin O'Connor is going to have a long summer. Obviously, Carlos Boozer can opt out. He kind of ruffled some feathers here in Salt Lake, saying that he was going to opt out, and wherever he went, he was probably going to get a raise. But 11 points, 15 rebounds. There's General Manager Kevin O'Connor, and Memo Okoro, who has not played in this series, can opt out as well. And Paul Millsap, a restricted free agent. So there's going to be a lot of interesting decisions here for the Utah Jazz.
Okoro out with that strained hamstring. So he has sat out games 1, 2, and 3. The injury suffered against the Clippers in the next to last game of the regular season. I believe we have another offering for Reggie's mailbag. We'll get to that in a moment. With the Jazz up 38-33. 2.5 to play in the first half. Bryant rebounded by Boozer. Kobe now 1 of 9. Korver couldn't get to his spot in time. Well, Ariza went sliding. Korver had the shot, but wasn't looking that way. Now Korver is open. Nice play by Brewer on the save.
Nice hustle.
Korver for 3. Yes, a catch and shoot. Set up by Darren Williams. Utah has an 8-point lead. 7-0 run for the Jazz. And the foul is called. Boozer raising his hand.
Finally, a nice hard foul by a Jazz player, sending Kobe Bryant to the line.
Are you looking for nasty play, as Jerry Sloan called for the other day in game 2? So Bryant to the line. Kobe 2 of 2, just 1 of 9 from the field. Let's go back to Reggie's mailbag, presented by BlackBerry.
Well, what's it like to still be the second best player in your family from Cheryl M., Los Angeles, California? Look,
that's terrible.
I know that is bad, but look, I'll always be known as Cheryl Miller's brother, and I'm okay with that. It helped me.
You're okay?
Yeah, it made me
Just
work
okay?
harder. It made me work harder. How about Cheryl and her new hairdo with the braids and so forth, taking on the Predator
You're
look.
okay with it?
Yeah, she's got the Predator look going on.
You're okay with it? They take a shot or two.
Here and there, I'll take a shot.
Oh, you siblings.
Cheryl Dean knows I love her to death.
41-35, Utah. You know, from the Laker point of view, it could be much worse in that they're shooting just 28%. Here's Kirilenko getting inside. Meanwhile, the Jazz dropping off. They're at 43% on 17 of 40 from the field. Lakers just 12 for 42, including the 1 for 9 by Kobe. Josh Powell, who just checked in, not able to hit, but the follow is right there by Odom.
Well, you got the Lakers shooting 29%. Kobe Bryant, 1 of 9, only 6 points, and you're only down 6 here in the first half.
Good job by Odom on Kirilenko, then it's slapped away. Last touch by Ariza. Down to 7 on the shot clock for the Jazz. Four on the 24. Korver came up short. Odom with the save. picked up by Williams. Good job by Darren Williams. Kobe trying to bank it. Odom once again with a follow shot. Lamar Odom, 5 for 7, 11 points, 8 rebounds. What a half for Lamar.
Yeah, fantastic in games 1 and 2. And he's relentless, especially on the offensive glass for the Lakers.
2-second differential between the game clock and shot clock.
That's the quick 3.
Here it is for Brewer. Millsap. And time runs out in the first half. Jerry Sloan wanted a foul, will not get the call. It's a 43-39 lead for the Jazz.
Well, offensive opportunities, rebounding. There's one by Karolinko keeping it alive, and Millsap thought he was fouled on that putback.
Well, a 10-point lead for a good portion of this first half for Utah. They lead by 4. The story in the half for the Jazz, Carlos Boozer, and he's with Craig Sager.
Well, Carlos, earlier today you guaranteed me that you would not go down 3-0. You're doing your part, 13 points, 16 rebounds. How have you been able to get all those boards?
I'm just being aggressive, man. The reason I've been able to get rebounds is because we're playing better defense. We're making them miss shots. We're making them take tough shots with hands in their faces. And if we do that, I like our chances. I can get the rebounds if we make them miss.
Despite the terrific play, it's a 4-point game. Kobe Bryant just 1 of 9. How much better are you going to have to play in the second half as a team?
We got to keep getting better. I mean, they're a very good basketball team, as we all know. They got a lot of weapons out there. We got to keep playing our style of basketball, physical, be aggressive, get stops. We got to make them take tough shots like we did. I like our chances.
All right, thanks a lot. Coming up, the T-Mobile Halftime Report. EJ, Kenny, and Charles in our studios in Atlanta.
Salt Lake City, Utah, the Jazz with a 43-39 lead on the Lakers in this game 3 of the best of 7. Jazz trying to get back into the series. Lakers winning the first 2 games out in L.A. Marv Albert along with Reggie Miller. Craig Sager works the sidelines. And the Lakers, as we talked about right at the end of the first half, very fortunate to be down by only 4 when you consider Kobe Bryant 1 of 10 from the field. But in that first quarter, a good start by Utah, and the guy who set the tone, Andre Karolinko, who was reinserted back into the starting lineup.
Yeah, I think he had his fingerprints all, especially in that first quarter. He was the pace setter, and he does a little bit of everything. Here, the nice little assist to Boozer, and here runs the break, just cuts off Darren Williams for the nice little finish, and he times his feet to block Derek Fisher's shot going to the left, and here the steal. Gets his hand in right on Ariza. So nice first half for Karolinko being inserted into the starting lineup. And, Kobe Bryant 1 of 10 from the field in the first half. So who's going to pick up Lamar Odom off the bench? Nice 3-point shot here. And they post him up with a nice follow. And here you see the missed shot. But what does he do? Puts it back, 9 rebounds, 5 of them offensive for the Lakers.
Time here for the game summary brought to you by Dos Equis. Lakers just 14 of 46, only 30% shooting. Utah started with a good shooting performance, but dropped off 17 of 43. They are right around 40%. They've had the big edge off the boards, led by Carlos Boozer and Paul Millsap. 16 for Boozer, 10 for Millsap. How about just 4 assists for the Lakers, who were second in the league in that department this season, only 4 in the first half. All right, let's go to Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, Jerry Sloan told us he'd keep playing just the way we are. Keep playing hard, keep going at it, try to get more on the defensive glass and keep Odom off the offensive boards. He said that's the only thing that really hurt us. As for Kobe Bryant, the fact that he was 1 for 10, Matt Harpering has 3 fouls. They think he is too slow to guard Kobe at this point in his career, so they'll start out with Ronnie Brewer, go to Andre Karolinko, and don't be surprised if C.J. Miles comes out there as well. So even though Kobe Bryant was only 1 for 10, defensively, they have that eye on Kobe here in the second half.
Reggie, I thought Ronnie Brewer did a good job defending on Bryant.
Well, he did a fabulous job because he was forcing him to take tough shots, but being a former scorer, that is not going to deter Kobe Bryant. 1 of 10 is nothing. shooters and scorers continue to shoot and be aggressive looking at the basket.
Phil Jackson staying with Lamar Odom as this third quarter gets underway. Andrew Bynum on the bench with the 3 fouls. Odom is turned back, kept alive by Ariza. And here's Bryant with a deep 3. So Kobe gets right to it. The Lakers are within 1. Utah with Millsap starting out here in the second half, up front with Kirilenko and Boozer. Brewer and Williams are at the guards. Kirilenko. And it's picked up by Bryant.
Right now these fans are not into it like they were in that first quarter, Mar. They're kind of sitting on their hands waiting for the other shoe to drop as Lamar Odom with the nice assist from Kobe Bryant as the Lakers take the lead. First lead since 10-9 in that first quarter.
Here's Williams going straight at Gasol and a foul. Aaron Williams driving the lane. Foul is on Gasol. Aaron Williams, just 2 of 4 at the line, has not been a major factor. 6 points, 4 assists coming off the spectacular Game 2 and the 17 assists in Game 1.
Very much the same way Kobe Bryant struggled in that first half of the shooting. Deron Williams has to keep that same aggressiveness as well, as that's his 4th free throw he's missed in a row for the Jazz. You know, it's hard to speculate if that knee injury is affecting his shooting, but 4 free throws in a row for Deron Williams missed.
He's an 85% free throw shooter.
That one barely went. Touched all iron.
Boy, you're a perfectionist here.
I'm a shooter. Shooters, we pick every little flaw.
Game is tied at 44. Bryant. So Kobe Bryant opening up, very active at the offensive end. Hit a 3, now the 2, and the Lakers lead 46-44. Here is Brewer. He wanted the foul on Odom. Bryant met by Williams. He backs it in, and he's blocked from behind by Brewer. Williams going behind the back and tried to lead down low, but it was off the mark. Kirilenko not able to get to it.
Yeah, that's a tough look for Deron Williams, especially with Andre Kirilenko. Look at the defense. Deron Williams doing a nice job of bodying, and who comes over top? Ronnie Brewer with a nice block. Backside on Kobe Bryant.
2 minutes gone by in the third. Shot clock to 5. Bryant. Boozer with the rebound.
Bryant already 4 shots, 2 of 4 in this third quarter.
Here's Boozer coming up short. Fisher pegs it down. Ariza is fouled. Good foul by Deron Williams, preventing the shot. And it puts Ariza at the line. Trevor Ariza only a 71% free throw shooter. And foul. Lakers with an 11-1 run. Going back to the final minutes of the first half. And for Trevor Ariza, that is his first point.
Jazz are playing, and you know, we kind of talked about this in Game 2. It's almost like they were happy to be on the court with the Lakers. And that can't be the case, especially when you're going against the #1 seed and another offensive rebound for the Lakers.
Well, the Jazz coming into this series with Jerry Sloan, the head coach, saying, well, it looks bleak for us. Not happy as Odom once again is able to get inside. Lakers have their biggest lead of the night. Utah dropping in the last couple of weeks of the regular season to the #8 seed, losing 7 of the last 9 in the regular season, although they're not a typical #8 seed because they've been injury hit. Boozer came up short, rebounded by Odom. Lakers turning things here in the third. Odom being played by Millsap. And Gasol gets to it.
And you're going to give a team that's 1 or 2 in scoring, second in shot opportunities. That's too much.
And Phil Jackson decides to take a timeout. So in the midst of the possession, the Lakers call for time.
Well, Kobe Bryant, as we alluded to, 1 of 10 in that first half, but starts off the third quarter with a nice 3, and then you see the dish here to Lamar Odom. And then right here, the jumper just fills the defense. Nice little fadeaway. And I like the durability of Kobe. He played in all 82 games last season, 21 during the playoffs when they went to the finals. He had his Team USA commitment, which they won gold medal as Kobe knocks down another shot in China. And then he played in all 82 games this year, and obviously this is his third during the playoffs. And I spoke with his trainer, Tim Grover, and he said, look, Kobe normally takes 1 month off after the season, then he starts lifting weights, and then he'll start his 1 a day, sometimes 2 a days. Their goal is to be, as Darren Williams gets fouled going to the hole, his goal is to have Kobe Bryant at 95% going into Labor Day. And most NBA players are just picking up a basketball right after Labor Day. So you see why Kobe Bryant is so far ahead of the field of the rest of the competitors in this league, is because he puts his time and his hours during the summer.
Foul was on Bryant. So the Lakers have now outscored the Jazz 16-2 going back to the latter stages of the second quarter. We've been talking about Kobe going 1 for 10 in the first half. The last time we're told that Kobe Bryant shot less than 10% from the field in a playoff half. 1 for 11 in the second half of the NBA Finals in a game against the Pacers at Indiana. So I'm thinking, so obviously you were guarding him.
And they said I didn't play any defense. No, actually, I'm going to give Derek McKee a lot of that credit. Derek McKee was the one who was probably guarding Kobe most of that series.
A lot of that. So you're taking partial credit here?
Well, I started off on him. I just passed him off to Derek. That's all.
Darren Williams just picked up his third foul. The Lakers have taken a 51-45 lead. 4 minutes gone by in this third quarter.
I just wish he would have shot like that for the whole series.
Here's Ariza for 3. Trevor Ariza, hearing it from the Laker portion of this crowd. This is a guy who shot just under 30% from downtown throughout his career and has been on fire from beyond that three-point line the first 3 games of this series. Well, Ron Brewer again, given that shot and able to hit.
Ron Brewer is going to have his opportunities to shoot 3 of 9 from the field, 8 points.
And that's the first Jazz field goal in nearly 6 minutes. They triple team Bryant. Gasol. He has that beautiful touch. That's a little deeper than you normally see Powell attempt a shot. The Lakers are on fire here in the third and lead at 56-47. Boozer's pass went through the hands of Karolinko. It's a 3-on-1. Bryant for Ariza.
See how the Lakers defense creates steals, which leads to that fast break, and you have finishers, whether it be Ariza or Pau Gasol.
Brewer, this time Bryant came out to close, and again a break. 2-on-1. Ariza to the trailer. Odom stripped. Back comes Williams.
That's the bullet there if you're a Jazz fan.
Pass intended for Millsap. Was recovered by Boozer. Not a good pass. And it landed in the hands of Boozer. Lakers with a 58-49 lead.
Give the officials a lot of credit. They're letting both of these teams play. There's been a lot of banging on both ends, and great job by the officials for letting them play playoff basketball.
Gasol feeling for Boozer and his foul. And that'll put Gasol At the line, Boozer collects his third. Here's a look at the upcoming national television schedule. Friday, Game 3 action, Cleveland at Detroit, Orlando at Philadelphia, Portland at Houston, and then Sunday on ABC, Boston at Chicago. That'll be Game 4, followed by Cleveland at Detroit in Game 4. Earlier this evening, the Celtics winning in Chicago to take a 2-1 lead in that series. Boston 107, Chicago 86, led by Paul Pierce with 24.
You think Detroit's going to, now that they're coming back home, you think they can muster up some of that old Piston magic and get in there and get a win?
It's not the old Piston group there, right? And Millsap called for steps. The other game tonight, Dallas over San Antonio, 88-67. So the Mavs now lead it 2-1. We'll be on hand in Dallas Saturday afternoon right here on TNT. Game number 4. 20 points for Nowitzki. Howard at 17. San Antonio 67 points, setting a franchise playoff record low. Set a Dallas franchise record low for an opponent. Was not a pretty picture for the Spurs. Here is Boozer. Yes. So the Jazz down by 8. They led throughout the first half, leading by as many as 10. The Lakers come roaring back here in the third quarter. Gasol off the double team.
And he can shoot over Carlos Boozer anytime he wants. Boozer's going to have to do a better job of forcing Powell out off his comfort zone down low.
Kirilenko passed out at 3. Pass picked off. Gasol with the steal. Williams back. Ariza had a notion. Changed his mind on a 3. And now shoots it and hits. Timeout called by Jerry Sloan. The Lakers sizzling here in the third. They've hit 10 of 15 from the field. They now lead it by 13.
Well, Pau Gasol is too tall, too talented for Carlos Boozer down low. And fast break opportunity. Struggled in the first half. Trevor Ariza finding it in the second half. 9 points for the Lakers.
Vintage shot of Jerry Sloan. Played 11 seasons, 10 of them with the Chicago Bulls. Two-time All-Star, was all defensive first team 4 times. And then Phil Jackson, who primarily did it off the bench, played 12 NBA seasons, 10 of them with the New York Knicks. Averaged just under 7 points a game. Part of the Knicks' 1973 championship team. And a very active guy defensively, and was so difficult in defending against inbound passes with those long arms.
I was impressed by that lefty hook over the cap. Kareem Abdul.
Phil Action Jackson. Pat Harbring is back in. Clock running down. Here's Harbring. This is after Korver passed up on the 3.
Right now, the offense is out of sync for the Utah Jazz. Lakers, you got to give them a lot of credit, and their defense a lot of credit.
The Lakers were down 43-35 with a minute left in the first half. Here's Fisher coming up short on that 3-point attempt. Since then, they've outscored Utah 25-8. Now Korver for 3. Tip missed by Harbring. And a loose ball foul on Harbring, who has not been able to stay on the floor. That's his 4th foul. He's played only 3 minutes and change.
And what was Jerry Sloan looking for Matt Harbring to kind of muck it up and be physical down here? And 4 quick fouls in only 3 minutes or so. Hasn't been able to really stay on the floor and exert some of that toughness that Jerry Sloan was looking for.
4th team foul on the Jazz. Phil Jackson starting, staying with the unit that started the third quarter. And they have been brilliant in this quarter. Williams on a crossover. Here's Boozer. Try to duck in under, rejected. Gasol got a piece. Shot clock to 10. Korver for 3. The Jazz really need Korver to start hitting shots. He's had many open looks. 1 of 7 for Korver. Williams. And he'll head to the line. Foul on Ariza. Darren Williams, man who took over for one of the great point guards in the history of the league, Hall of Famer John Stockton, who will be inducted along with his head coach Jerry Sloan.
How about a young player in Darren Williams? And obviously you're coming in here to fill the shoes of one of the greatest point guards to play the game. And John Stockton, very gracious. They actually worked out early on in Darren Williams' first 2 years and kind of telling him the tricks of the trade and really how to handle your head coach and Jerry Sloan, and understanding, Jerry Sloan's been around the block a few times, and this is how you're going to have to approach each and every day. And if I'm a young player, that's such a treat to learn from a Hall of Famer like John Stockton.
Darren Williams was 5 of 10 at the line. Boozer was trying to front Gasol and a foul. So that puts the Jazz over the limit. Jaron Collins will check back in. Carlos Boozer sits down after picking up his 4th. 17 points, 20 rebounds for Boozer, who has set a couple of franchise records here tonight. 11 rebounds first quarter. Passing by Karl Malone. Greg Ostertag, 15 for the half. Pass by Karl Malone in terms of a new franchise playoff record, rebounds and a half. Malone had 14. You can log on to NBA.com to enter the Barkley Zone. Exclusive interviews, opinion, and analysis straight from the mouth of Sir Charles. Only on NBA.com.
Well, where did the Jazz turn to for scoring? Boozer, the only Jazz in double figures. Darren Williams, who is going back to the free throw line, has struggled. Oh, they're saying side out. What else was he doing but shooting? This should be 2 free throws.
Well, Williams at the line, but no, Bennett Salvador says no, get back here. We're going to inbound. Only the 4th team foul on the Lakers.
Well, what else was he doing, Marv? I mean, he's going up for a shot right there. That should be 2 free throws for the Jazz.
Yeah, it's kind of borderline.
Okay.
On the drive. Korver. Rebounded by Bynum, who just checked back in.
Kyle Korver, as Bynum picks up his 5th foul after just checking in. Collins doing a good job of taking that offensive foul in transition, giving up his body. Phil Jackson is going to gamble, being up 12 points and understanding he has Pau Gasol to fall back on. He elects to leave Bynum out on the floor.
Once again, Korver not looking for the shot, but Brewer able to knock it down. So the Laker lead is 10, just under 2 left in this 3rd quarter. Lakers trying to go up 3-0 in this best of 7. The Jazz seeking to get back into the series with a win here tonight. Game 4 in Salt Lake City, Saturday night. Bryant, and it's deflected out. Last touch by the Lakers. Let's check in with Craig.
Well, Ronnie Brewer has the task of having to guard Kobe Bryant. It's a very difficult task that runs through the family. His father, Ron Brewer, is also here. Played the NBA for 8 seasons, had to guard Michael Jordan at times. He gave his son some advice. He said, no matter how frustrating you get, just remember you're doing your best and you're playing against one of the greatest players in the history of the game. Just keep going at it. As for Ron Brewer, he says, in his opinion, Michael Jordan was a more complete player because he says Jordan from start to finish was like very intense, whereas Kobe at times, as he even told us a few moments ago, has been able to coast. However, Ronnie Brewer says, my dad has no idea how tough it is to guard Kobe Bryant.
And Junior has no idea how it is to guard that black cat, as we called him, in Michael Jordan. And you see the older Brewer as his son has held Kobe Bryant to 4 of 17 in 32 minutes, only 13 points.
Ronnie Brewer Sr. played in the NBA and a star at Arkansas. Played with Sidney Moncrief, Marvin Delft, the famed triplets leading the Razorbacks to the 1978 Final Four.
Mrs. Brewer, I saw her on the plane on our way to Salt Lake City. And
did she have something to say to you?
when she came up, was like, be kind to my son. I'm like, what are you talking about, be kind? All I said was that Kobe Bryant was somewhat disrespecting him by playing off of him 5 feet. I was like, if you have criticism, it was probably that game one that was done by that other network.
Right.
And Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, who was throwing your son underneath the bus. And you know what? She agreed with me.
Well, they're being objective. But I love when you hear from family members. There's Fisher knocking it down. So the Lakers now lead it 66-55. Did Mrs. Brewer want us to make things up about her son? Aubrey is able to hit, and the Laker lead is now 9.
Well, you know, Mama's always going to have your back. No matter what anyone says, Mama always has your back.
Ron did play well in Game 2. He's done a good job here. Game 3, and I'm not looking to hear good things from Mrs. Brewer. That's a sincere statement. Gasol had it knocked away, and a foul is called on Collins.
3 seconds left on the shot clock, especially with Pau Gasol with his back to the basket. You usually could have got a 24-second, and you foul and send them to the line, especially when you're trying to make a run here late in this third quarter.
Pau just under 80% at the line during the regular season, but tonight just 1 of 5. And both teams are over a foul limit. Lakers come through with a prolific third quarter here tonight, shooting 58%. Remember, Game 2, one stretch hit 12 consecutive shots, 18 of 21 from the field. First quarter, Game 1, jump in front, and a 22-point lead at the half against Utah, though the Jazz did cut into it in the second half. Different story here tonight. Utah got off to the fast start, and the Lakers have come from behind. Korver for 3, yes!
Well, Kyle cannot be gun-shy. We feel he's passing up shots now. What we said about Kobe Bryant and Deron Williams, shooters shoot, scorers score. He's got to continue to shoot and be aggressive, especially with Boozer on the bench.
Well, that's the only reason Kyle Korver's on the floor, is to take threes
and spread the defense.
There's Odom getting inside, and then it's deflected out. Last touched by Korver. 1 3/10 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Kobe Bryant will check back in. Comes on for Trevor Ariza.
This could be a huge stop for the Utah Jazz to get this down to 8, and that playing very well. And Boozer on the bench with 4 fouls.
1.3 to go in the third. Here's Bryant off balance. And the Jazz do get the stop. 9-4 run at the end of the third by the Jazz, but they're outscored in the third quarter 29-17. Lakers by 8.
Well, we got to put a little more effort into it. We didn't have much effort to come out to start the third quarter. We had a lead, a little 4-point lead, I believe it was, and then they jumped on us real quick, and we kind of dropped our heads and started feeling sorry for ourselves. And we had to change. So these guys we got in now have done a good job trying to get a little momentum going for us.
Carlos Boozer's been terrific. He has 4 fouls. Are you worried about the foul trouble?
Well, I was worried. That's why I had to take him out of the game, because I had no other choice, in my opinion, to try to. I went with Jaron Collins, and Matt Harpin were out there. We had Paul and Boozer both sitting on the bench. So I had those guys, and I thought they did a pretty good job to try to hang in there. Now it's up to us to show some energy in the fourth quarter.
All right, thanks a lot. Thank you, Mark.
All right, Craig Vujacic called for that holding foul as this fourth quarter gets underway. Jerry Sloan headed to the Hall of Fame, 21st season head coach of the Jazz, which is unheard of these days in professional sports. Korver with his second straight bucket, and the Jazz within 6. Shannon Brown is back. Vujicic and Brown in the backcourt. Gasol, Walton, Bryant up front. Beautiful pass for Brown.
How about you got the size of a Pau Gasol going against Paul Millsap, who is 4 inches shorter. You can just look over the defense and find the cutters.
70-62, Lakers. Hawthorne going at Walton and scores. Matt Hawthorne. There was a question mark for game 2 because of stomach problems. Some concern about the game here tonight. Apparently had a bad reaction to antibiotics. Vujicic again not able to hit. Here's Williams trying to go all the way, stopped by Brown. Korver finding an open Miles. Yes! A 3 for C.J. Miles. It's down to a 3-point Laker lead. The Jazz have hit their last 6 shots.
Now you've got the crowd back into the ball game for the Jazz.
Gasol rebounded by Millsap, but a foul. It looked like Gasol hurt his elbow, but he will head to the line. Foul on Millsap, his second.
Well, Matt Harpering, really a non-factor in games 1 and 2 right here. Taking the ball off the dribble, using the glass, and C.J. Miles in transition. Korver going through a series of screens, finds a wide open Miles from 3-point land. Now you're down 3. Carlos Boozer on the bench with 4. Phil Jackson has elected to leave Kobe Bryant on the floor as Pau Gasol, who is struggling from the floor. You see the nice little spin move on Millsap, and you're wondering him holding that right elbow. So Kobe Bryant doesn't get his customary rest at the start of the 4th quarter. Is Phil Jackson electing to go all out and try to get this game 3 by leaving Kobe on the floor here?
And some light pressure shown by the Lakers. Now they drop back. All 6 of the shots by Utah in this run have come from bench players. Hawthorne. Yes. Matt Hawthorne, C.J. Miles, Kyle Korver, all contributing to this rally by the Jazz. They are now within 2.
And Phil Jackson has probably seen enough of Luke Walton out there. He's bringing back Trevor Ariza, his defensive stopper at that small forward position.
Bryant off a series of fakes, and he draws the foul.
And Millsap could have took a charge on Kobe Bryant if he just would have gotten outside the charge circle. Well, everyone here is kind of grumbling, thinking that Kobe maybe shuffled his feet a little bit, but you're going to take a charge. You got to be a man and take it in the chest and get outside the charge circle.
Yeah, Millsap in that restricted area, so the call was made, and for Millsap his 3rd foul. Bryant 4 of 4 at the line. Kobe 1 of 10 in the first half, 4 of 18 overall for 14 points. The Lakers on the road, 29-12. That is the best road record in the NBA. However, they have lost 7 of their last 10 here in Salt Lake City.
Well, it's a 1-possession game now here with a 3 by the Jazz.
Hawthorne, and it's deflected, last touched by the Lakers.
Well, this is the type of energy that the Jazz showed in that first 6 minutes of that first quarter, as Jerry Sloan was telling Craig Sager, is we just got to play harder. We've got to step up our game, and we've got to get to shooters and put bodies on the Laker players.
Jerry's saying we're hanging our heads in that 3rd quarter. Here's Darren Williams, who draws the foul. Beautifully done. He saw Shannon Brown making the move towards him and picked it up in the act. 2nd team foul on the Lakers, 3rd on Brown, and Williams to the line.
Oh, I like the little dance right here. Make sure he has him off balance. Gives him the little eyebrow. You just dance a little bit and you see his feet and he steps in, and it's definitely, he's shooting 2, not 3. His left was behind, but his right was in front of that 3-point line, so he'll be shooting 2.
He's only 5 of 10 at the line. Aaron Williams Just 2 of 6 from the field, 7 assists. It has not been, to this point, a typical Darren Williams game.
No, it hasn't, but in this fourth quarter, I think especially with Boozer being on the bench, him and Kyle Korver as well as Matt Harpering are kind of setting the tone offensively for the Jazz.
The Laker lead is down to 1. They have led by as many as 13. Jazz had a 10-point lead on several occasions in the first half. 3 minutes in, fourth quarter. Gasol trying to get position. Things getting tough as Hoffman swiped to the side. Here's Hoffman ahead of the field, and Matt Hoffman has been a big factor in this fourth quarter.
Well, what did Jerry Sloan tell us before the game? We need the toughness of Matt Harpering. We need someone who's not afraid to stick his nose in there, stick his hands in there, and do the dirty work.
Utah back by 1. Shot clock to 3. Bryant comes up short. They are on their feet here in Salt Lake City, away from the ball. A foul is called as there was a collision. Ariza involved with Millsap. Millsap went down. Second foul on Ariza.
Well, finally, the Jazz showing some of that nastiness that Jerry Sloan, and you see Matt Harpering break it free for the easy lay-in for them.
And the Utah bench has done the job. They've scored 16 of the last 18 points for the Jazz. Darren Williams took a shot from Derek Fisher. Harpering is wide open. Yes! Matt Harpering, 5 for 6, 10 points in 10 minutes of play. The Jazz have hit their last 9 shots, and they're up 75-72. 4 minutes gone by in the fourth. Gasol gets it down low. Odom cannot hit. Kept alive by Gasol. Rebound, Harpering.
This was letting them play down low. A lot of bumps going down on that offensive rebound by Gasol.
Miles gets it down low. Open shot for Williams. He passed it up. They swing it. Harpering. Rebounded by Gasol.
Darren Williams has to take that 15-foot jump shot.
Bryant with the opening. Bryant is hit. Oh, it's an offensive foul. It's a charge called on Kobe Bryant.
And remember before when I said Millsap has to be a man and step outside that charge circle and take it in the chest? What does he do this time? Comes over and sacrifices his body. You've got to get in front of Kobe Bryant. You can't try to sideswipe him. You've got to sacrifice your body.
So that time, Millsap outside the circle, outside the restricted area. For Kobe, his 3rd personal. Miles hit a 3 from that spot. Away from the ball, the foul on Ariza. That's 3 on Ariza, and the Lakers with team foul number 4. The Jazz with only 2. A 15-4 advantage for Utah here in the fourth quarter. They've hit 6 of 7 from the field. Look at the damage the bench has done. 13 of the 15 Utah points by bench players. Korver being one of them. Not able to add to it. The back tap handled by Fisher. And he shoots for 3. Rebounded by Korver. Here's Williams putting the speed on. Williams and a foul. Nice pass from Darren Williams to Paul Millsap, and Millsap will go to the line. It also puts the Lakers over the foul limit. It's on Bryant. That's number 4 on Kobe.
And Darren Williams saw Paul Millsap as soon as he got the ball in the middle, understood his power forward was running the floor right there. You give him the ball, especially going against a guard, that's going to be a foul every single time.
Millsap at the line for the first time tonight. He's only a 70% free throw shooter. Here's a programming reminder. Don't miss the all-new season premiere of Tyler Perry's Meet the Browns, May 27th at 10, 9 Central, only on TBS.
Very funny.
Phil Jackson not finding anything very funny in this fourth quarter as the Jazz have recaptured the lead. Are up by 4.
And let's see if Kobe Bryant can try to get going offensively, as C.J. Miles is a little bit too aggressive down low against Kobe Bryant as he picks up the personal. You see the little shuffle by Kobe trying to go to the post to get that comfort area down low for Kobe. 4 of 19 from the field, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, only 14 points, averaging 25 points in this first round series against the Jazz.
There's Gasol. Good job defensively, but Gasol gets it back on that save attempt by Millsap, which is always a no-no, as Gasol was in position. It's always dangerous to try to save it from that spot. The basket counts and the foul.
Well, you're taught this in grade school basketball. If you're underneath your own goal, they call it eating the basketball. Who cares? Have the Lakers take it out underneath, but you never try to save it underneath your own basket.
Foul committed by Korver. That is his second. Gasol is 4 of 9 at the line. It's one of those nights for Powell. Utah with a 2-point lead. Just under 6.5 to play here in the fourth. Marv Albert, Reggie Miller, Craig Sager. Second of our doubleheader on TNT with the Celtics winning in Chicago earlier tonight. Here's Miles for 3, way off. He's upset with himself.
And you're wondering if this second unit, minus Darren Williams, is getting a little bit fatigued now after getting them back into the ball game, and it looked like Carlos Boozer was getting ready to check back in, but Jerry Sloan electing to bring him back.
Here is Bryant, rejected by Millsap. Gasol kicks it back out. 5 on the clock. Odom. Millsap pulls it down. What a job by Paul Millsap. Rebound number 13.
Well, if you're a Jazz, put the ball down and try to get to the hole. You are already, the Lakers are already over the bonus.
Offering. Odom on the rebound. The Lakers trailing by 2. 5.5 to play in the fourth. And Miles called for the bump. So that puts the Jazz over the limit. Timeout called. We'll be back to Salt Lake City in a moment. In Salt Lake City, the Lakers won that series in 6. Both teams are over the foul limit. Kobe now 6 of 7 at the line, just 4 of 20 from the field for 15 points.
Well, Jerry Sloan now has brought back Carlos Boozer, who's been resting over there. 17 points, 20 rebounds to give him a low post presence for the Jazz.
Boozer with Millsap and Korver up front. Boozer played by Gasol. Brewer and Williams at the guards. Here's Williams going at Gasol. Sets it up for Brewer. And Boozer gets to the rebound. They trap him. And apparently stepped out of bounds as he tried to get that pass down low.
And the first shot, especially for Ronald Brewer, also checking back in along with Carlos Boozer. He's had those shots all night. Kobe Bryant is not going to play him. He's going to have to earn them.
Game is tied at 76. Odom is met by Millsap. Bryant backing Brewer. They double up on him. Rebounded by Boozer.
What a game on the board for Carlos Boozer.
Here's Korver. Yes! Another 3 for Kyle Korver. He has 11 points, So Corver heating up in this fourth quarter. That's his third from downtown. Utah 79, Lakers 76. Ariza for three. We're down to 4 minutes remaining in the fourth. You look at a game like this in this stretch with the Jazz down 2-0. The season basically on the line for Utah.
Well, the Jazz have any inclination of winning this series, they got to win Game 3.
Game 4 here in Salt Lake City, Saturday night. Bryant using the crossover, finding Ariza again from downtown. Handled by Millsap. Rebound number 14 for Millsap. And it's an 8-second violation. They did not get across midcourt.
And you can't have turnovers like that. He almost had it in the previous possession. And it's turnovers like that that can cost you, especially, as I always say, when you're going against the best team in the Western Conference.
That's turnover number 16 for the Jazz. Very upset about this turnover. Darren Williams called for the 8-second violation.
Well, just like in tennis, you don't want unforced turnovers right here. Darren Williams, he understands he's got to get the ball across the half-court line in 8 seconds, and these are turnovers, especially being up by 3 against the Lakers, that you just can't give Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, and Lamar Odom. They're just too potent of an offense.
Lakers with the ball down by 3. 3:15 left in the fourth. Fisher using the pick. They double up on him. Pass for Ariza. Nicely done. Ariza getting it to Odom, who now has 19, and the Jazz lead is 1. Shot clock down to 10. Down to 5. Corver for 3. Way off. And it's deflected out of bounds. Last touch by the Jazz would have been a 24-second violation.
Well, I'm not quite sure this ball didn't hit the rim, but as the ball goes down, it kind of looked like it hit the rim, so it should have reset, but obviously Bennett Salvatore said the ball was off of Carlos Boozer anyways.
Jazz just one of the last 8 from the field. Lakers trail by 1. Shot clock to 7. Bryant.
Great D by Ronnie Brewer.
And Jerry Sloan telling Darren Williams get it across.
And he's smiling right now, saying, okay.
He had that lethargic approach.
John Stockton never
Oh,
got
look at that pass for Brewer, and a foul. And Brewer hurt his hand. Foul on Odom.
Ronnie Brewer, this is a great defense on his part. Chasing Kobe Bryant into a tough fadeaway 18-footer. Kobe, 4 of 22, was 1 of 10 at the end of the first half.
Brewer 3 of 4 at the line, a 70% free throw shooter. Utah now 15 of 25 at the line. Lakers have also struggled, 16 of 26. Just under 2 to go in this fourth quarter. And Utah has an 80-78 lead. Gasol working against Boozer. Here's Gasol, and the game is tied at 80.
At 7-2, he's always going to have the advantage against any of the Jazz front court players. Just able to back him down and shoot over him.
That's a kick ball. Williams try to get it to the cutting Boozer.
Just backs him down, shoots that nice little jump hook over that left shoulder. Soft touch.
A minute 34 remaining. In this fourth quarter, the game is tied at 80. Here's Boozer, and he draws the foul. So Carlos to the line where he has hit 3 of 4. Foul on Gasol, that is number 4. So Carlos Boozer with 22 rebounds has tied a franchise playoff record for rebounds. He has been wiping guys out of the record books from the first quarter on. He set the record for Utah franchise record, most rebounds in a quarter. In the first quarter, that was 11. For the half, he had 15. He's now tied Karl Malone with 22 rebounds. If they Pau Gasol drew some blood, and what a friend of Gary Vitti checking it out.
Well, anytime you're breaking a Karl Malone record here in Utah, player who played with so much of that nastiness along with John Stockton, who we saw earlier for head coach Jerry Sloan, that's a pretty impressive thing tonight for Carlos Boozer.
As you see, Boozer just 70% at the line this season. Taking it back from the arthroscopic knee surgery. There's been 44 games in all. Utah by 1.
We talked about earlier him maybe ruffling some feathers, talking about opting out of his contract, and fans around here, especially in the small market, not really appreciating that. But tonight, 19 points, 22 rebounds, and carrying offensively this Utah Jazz.
.1:15 remaining in the fourth. Bryant off the double, gets it to Ariza. Now single cover. Bryant down low to Odom. And Kobe took advantage as they came with the double, and Odom was wide open. The game is tied at 82 with a minute left in the fourth. Boozer forced out by Gasol. Odom over to help. Shot clock down to 6. Williams inside. Boozer scores, and the Jazz have a 2-point lead.
Well, that's vintage, almost Stockton to Malone pick and roll right there. Nice dive by Boozer.
35 seconds left in the fourth. Bryant forced deep to the corner as he's double teamed. And a timeout call. Bryant in trouble and took the timeout to maintain the possession. So when we resume, the Lakers will have 8 on the shot clock. They'll have still 2 timeouts remaining, a full and a 20. Utah with 1 full and 2 20s. Both teams are over the foul limit. And we have 30 seconds to play in this fourth quarter. Time now for tonight's Marines teamwork play of the game. And I'm told, no, it's cold hard facts, okay? We will revisit what you set up earlier.
Well, what we talked about, what the Lakers had to do, get off to that quick start. They only shot 24% in that first quarter, not like games 1 and 2. And feed the beast. Gasol, Bynum, Odom only 32 points, but Bynum having played only 7 minutes and picking up 5 fouls. And William Boozer, we wanted them to score 55-plus points. Tonight, only 32, but Boozer getting it done. 21 points, 22 rebounds. And how about the energy? The energy here tonight has been electric for the Utah Jazz.
They're on their feet here in Salt Lake City. Good job against Bryant, but he gets to the inbound pass. somehow working the baseline, was able to get to it, and the game is tied.
How does the most dangerous man on the floor for the Lakers end up with an uncontested layup?
Boozer. What a move, up the step on Gasol. So the Jazz up by 2, and the Lakers will talk it over. We saw the quick step from Carlos Boozer as he beats Gasol off the dribble right here to give the Jazz the 2-point lead. We'll be right back. Lakers are now down to 1 timeout left. They have a 20. Utah in good shape with a full of 220s. 86-84. Utah looking to get back into the series. And let's see how they play the inbounds. Did not play it well last time when the ball ended up in the hands of Kobe Bryant on the baseline. Odom will throw in. Bryant trying to lose Brewer on the screen. Here's Kobe. Sets it up for Gasol, and he stops. The game is tied at 86. And Jerry Sloan takes a timeout.
Well, it's a very simple play because Kobe Bryant, so much attention. It's going to be his way. You see the wide open layup for Gasol.
Seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. The Jazz and the Lakers are tied at 86. Utah still has a full and a 20. Lakers have a 20-second timeout. How do the Jazz play it here?
Well, especially you need a player that's going to be able to create his own shot, and that's Darren Williams. They can go to a quick pick and roll, which we just saw as our Marines play of the game. But Darren Williams, it's going to be hard to get the ball to Carlos Boozer. Darren Williams is going to have to create and make the shot himself unless Boozer is wide open.
And I would assume you try to hold the ball for as long as possible. You don't want the Lakers to have an opportunity after this.
You
Brewer
take the last shot.
Yeah, Brewer inbounds. Williams plays the clock. Down to 7. Down to 6. Down to 4. 3. Williams. Yes! With 2.2 to go! Darren Williams has given the Jazz a 2-point lead.
You need a player to be able to create his own shot. The pick and roll was high, but you have the advantage, especially going against Derek Fisher. You see the crossover, gets into the lane, 7-foot Lamar Odom comes on over, but the fadeaway is too nice as the Laker bench can't believe it. And you see the Jazz bench here, and Harper knew it.
The Lakers taking their final timeout. Both teams are over the foul limit. So Utah does not want to commit a foul. We're down to 2 and 2/10 seconds remaining in the fourth.
I wonder if this is something that Hall of Famer to be John Stockton was teaching Darren Williams when he was a rookie in some of those informal workouts in Washington.
Trevor Ariza will inbound as the Lakers set up. Kobe over at the far side. Here's Kobe for the win. The Utah Jazz hold on and defeat the Los Angeles Lakers 88-86 in a terrific game here in Salt Lake City.
And I think Kobe Bryant maybe might have caught this maybe 2 or 3 steps further than what he really would have wanted. I understand him going for the jugular and going for the win, but that is a long 35-footer, even for the great Kobe Bryant.
And how about the Jazz outscoring the Lakers 37-22 over the last 16 and a half minutes, and Kobe ends up just 5 for 24 from the field for 18 points. Utah jumping to the early lead. Lakers came on with a burst in the third, but the Jazz, led by their bench, came storming back, and they win it on the jumper by Deron Williams. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, Carlos Boozer carried this team the entire way, but on the game-winning shot, Reggie Miller said it has to be Deron Williams because he's the one that can create the shot. Run us through the sequence, the winning shot in the play.
Well, I told Booz, you know, we've been trying to run pick and rolls, they've been trapping me all day. So I said if they show early, just slip it and I'll go one-on-one. I had to make up for my horrible play all night, and I'm glad I hit the shot.
What about Carlos Boozer's game? The energy he brought, dominating the boards. How did you feel about the way he played tonight?
He's back. You know, he set the tempo in that first quarter, coming out, getting 11 rebounds, scoring the basketball. He's a beast, man.
A year ago, you had 11 30-point games. You told me earlier tonight you may get 30 tonight. You talking about points or rebounds?
It don't matter, man. As long as we win, that's all that matters. Now we back in the series. We put a little fair in there, and we got to come back and back this up on Saturday.